Hey, it's Frank here with 4D Honeybee, and what a week in beekeeping I've had. I went and split a hive 19 days ago. I went in to check it out at the 16-day mark, thought they had not developed a queen, saw that they had ripped out a queen cell, and there was just one queen cell left, but lo and behold, you found the queen. In my video, you spotted the queen, you pointed her out to me, and there she was. Just a very glancing, glimpse of her. But she's there. So I'm going to go back into that hive right now and just have a proper methodical look for that queen, just to see if she's laying. She looked plenty plump and big, so if she's laying, that hive is all set. Went and checked my Costanza hive, and turns out it had swarmed. So it's left me behind a whole bunch of swarm cells, a whole box full of honey. I'm going to take at least 2 frames of honey out of it to make some space. I'm going to do a split. Believe it or not, I'm going to split that hive because the previous genetics weren't great. That queen's genetics were great. She filled up a whole second brood box in 4 weeks. So then I'm going to also return my extracted frames. I extracted 50 pounds of honey. Look at this. These are the frames that I've extracted. 13 frames and 13 medium frames and 50 pounds of honey. It was my biggest take ever in one shot for my 2 productive hives. So I'm going to return those frames and boxes back to those hives so they can continue to fill them out. I do have frames in them now, and we'll see how she goes. I'm going to do one video at a time, maybe 2 or 3 videos, because just to keep them short. But the first video will be me looking at the split hive in order to find the queen, see if she's laying, see if my split is a complete success. And thanks for joining me, and thanks for your comments. You have helped me out an immense amount here. Without you, I don't know what I'd do. 4D Honeybee. Okay, so I'm going to try to be methodical in this inspection to look for the queen, because I did see her in a video, but I didn't see her in person. So I just have to take my time and look for her. Lots of bees checking me out today, which kind of surprises me. It's absolutely perfect bee weather today. It's 27 degrees, which puts us around, 80, mid to high 80s, and sunny, as you can see, and absolutely no wind out here. So it is absolutely perfect foraging weather. We are in a major honey flow right now, and all the hives are pretty much doing gangbusters. Now this hive, for a split hive, which was split exactly 19 days ago, look at all the activity right there. It's just one deep brood box, but it certainly is a good amount of activity. Okay, so I'm going to give them a bit of smoke. I just got this feeling that they're a little bit on edge. I'm trying to make this inspection all about knowing that knowing that I have a hive tool would be beneficial. Knowing that that the queen is in there and laying. So just give me 1 second to try and find that hive tool. Okay, I'm back, and so is my hive tool. So here we go. Let's open this up and see how they're doing. And just look for a queen. And again, for the queen, what we're looking for ideally is the way she moves, right? And how she moves. That's what, in my opinion, gives her away the easiest. Now, take this with a grain of salt. Some things I've learned, I still have a lot to learn. I'm not very good at finding the queen. So I got a little better at it when I installed the first nukes, because it's relatively easy to find the queen there. But it's still something that I need work on. So maybe this video can be a bit of a tutorial on that. Hopefully that's the case. I tried that with another hive yesterday, and it turned out the queen had swarmed on me. So we'll see how it goes. Again, the queen could be on any frame. I just want to be extra careful pulling the frames out so that I don't possibly squish her or any bees, frankly. It's no fun squishing bees. Okay, I'd say there's no queen on that frame, on this side. This side is a nice honey frame. It's just rested here. I love these little entrances and escapes that they make to go in between or through frames. Okay, looking for a queen here, and I don't see her. Okay, we're going to rest this frame outside here. Okay. Next frame is just a filler frame, so I will take a quick look at that one, but I wouldn't expect her to be on here. No queen. We'll leave that outside as well. Okay, and now's where it should get interesting. Now this next frame has a lot of empty cells. It's a good frame for laying. And I think I also see a queen cell or a queen cup on it, so let's have a look. A lot of these frames had multiple queen cups going, but... Okay, so first side here. Looking for the queen. Not seeing her here. Okay, now this side is the side that had multiple queen cups here. 1, 2, 3. None of them had eggs in them. Huh, I just spooked a deer. The deer just spooked me, actually. So I'll look in these cells for eggs, but I can tell you right now they're full of nectar. Yep, glistening nectar. So we'll get this frame back in and keep looking for the queen. I mean, it's a nice frame because there's a lot of room for her to lay in there, which is always good. Ideally, now that this queen, if I do find the queen, this queen has been out for at least the better part of a week. Ideally, we would find her laying eggs. Now, it could be that she hasn't been out long enough to be impregnated yet, or it could be that she needs multiple flights to become inseminated, but we'll see. Okay, I don't see a queen there. They're definitely building out comb. Slowly, but they're building it out. No queen there. Okay. Now with this few number of bees, there really should be no excuse for not finding a queen, although the next few frames are looking like they're a lot busier with bees. Let's see how they are. Wow, this one is really heavy with honey and some drone comb, as you can see there. And it's got a lot of nectar in it. I don't see any brood. Let's have a real good look for the queen here on both sides. You can see how they have their faces right in the cells. I guess I gave them a little shot of smoke, so it could be that they're just gorging themselves, right? Just looking for the movements of the bees. Just looking to see if you see one distinct bee that looks like a queen. And I don't see it on this side. Okay, how about that over there? Nope. That's no queen. Okay, now I'll come over to this side. And again, it looks like they're backfilling a lot of this hatched brood area with nectar, which you would expect to find in a hive that went queenless for a while. So we just have to make sure the queen does have room to lay when she is viable and ready to lay. Again, not a frame that I would expect to see the queen on. The frame that I did see her on was the frame with the queen cell. And there still was one queen cell intact, so it'd be interesting to see if they've done anything with it. I might just have to smoke these guys to get them down a little bit. Don't want to use too much smoke because it's so far been a very docile hive with very good genes for our previous hive. Okay, now this is a frame that you could expect to see the queen on. It's completely wide open. They are filling it with some nectar. Just going to take it off camera here so I can get a really good look at it with the sun behind me. No, I don't see any eggs in here, and I don't see the queen. Let's see this side here. Well, this is a frame that is perfect for laying. It's got a ton of room on here. But so far, no sign of eggs, no sign of a queen. And there was a queen cup that was started that never had anything really go on with it. Empty. Looks like a very old one. Okay. Next frame. Just starting to build out. She could be on here supervising, you never know, but it doesn't look like there's any place for her to lay here yet. Okay, let's see what we got here. Just starting to be built out, this frame, eh? Let's look for a queen. Do not see a queen on here. Over to the other side. Building it out gradually. Got some burrcomb here, which is funny, they're starting to make into a queen cup there as well, but there's no eggs in there, so they can do it all they want. That's not going to be productive. Okay, focusing on looking for the queen. I don't see her. Last time I found her on this next frame, so no pressure, but I'll certainly be able to concentrate quite easily on this frame. This is the frame where I also found 2 queen cells at the 10-day mark. Then at the 16-day mark, the smaller of the queen cells was destroyed. So I just figured they were, I don't know, on their way to destroying the queen cells. But then we spotted the queen. So it's kind of a mystery. Let's see if we see. This is all filled with nectar. You can see that, eh? Just glistening with nectar. Some people say the queen doesn't like walking across nectar-laden cells, but I don't know. I really haven't spotted her enough to be able to tell. Don't see a queen here. Let's try this other side. Okay. Oh, there she is. And there she is. Look at that. She's right by where the queen cell was. You see her? Moving down towards the side of the frame, the right side, with my where my tool is. Now she's at the bottom middle of the frame. I'll point her out for you here. There she is. She's not that big a queen. See? She's right where the queen cell was, and the queen cell was here, and it's been destroyed. So the queen is there. She doesn't look all that fat. And it's so funny, like most queens that I've ever seen, they're not eager to be on camera for some reason. So there she is. The place has a queen, and she's walking on honeycombs, right? They're all filled with nectar there. So again, no sign that she's laying yet, so we'll leave her and just keep checking on her every now and then. I'm gonna not check on her for a little while just to make sure I don't bother her too much, but you see her moving away there, eh? It's moving towards the top of the frame now. I'm going to put her back in, and yeah, consider this, I guess, a preliminary success. This hive has a queen that they've made on their own. It's from the very good genetics of my hive that is just doing gangbusters. I extracted a lot of honey from my 2 really good hives. And now it's time for her to do her thing. She's got a lot of room to lay. I'll come back in maybe, I could see not coming back here for the better part of a week. And then I will check on her. Because at the week we should be finding larvae and lots of sign of her being actually impregnated. So if not, then we can make other plans. But till then, I'm very happy with this, and thank you to you, the listeners, because you're the ones that spotted that queen, not me. If not for you, I might have taken some actions that I shouldn't have taken. So we've got a queen. It's a successful split to this point. We need to see her lay. We're going to give her a few days for that. Thanks for joining me at 4D Honeybee.